and welcome to another beautiful edition of your favorite program, Mentorship Hour, on Redeemer Television, channel 25, and on Redeemer Media Network Facebook page, and also on Redeemer Television YouTube channel. Mentorship Hour is a program that unearths the true identity of who a personality is, and this personality would serve as our star mentor or icon for the show, who will take us through the pathway which you have been aspiring to pursue. And this personality will serve as an icon, as a coach, as a mentor, to counsel us, to teach us, to learn us about what it takes to succeed to that path that we wish to thread. And in today's edition of our mentorship program, we're having, should we say, we're having a blockbuster kind of person. I mean, we're having a political star, and at the same time, he's a medical doctor and all of that as well. So we're not going to waste no time. In today's edition of our program, we're having with us in the studio Honorable Dr. Umfa Sori G. Koroma. And guess what? He is the enviable Director of Communications and Public Relations for the leading, or should we say, well, the only opposition APC party in Parliament. He is that person that is occupying that enviable position there. So today he is here to talk to us about his political career. I mean, what it takes to become a successful politician with an impact on lives and societies. Because being a political figure is not only about making yourself, but at the end of the day, what's the impact will your political life has on people who are looking up to you or the society at large? Because at the end of the day, they say legacy is not all in the houses that we build, or the wealth that we acquire, or the cars that we buy, but the life that we touch. At the end of the day, even when you are gone, this legacy will continue to live forever and ever. So I'm going to go straight over to my honorable guest here this evening, the Right Honorable Dr. Umfa Sori G. Koroma. Good afternoon and welcome to Mentorship Hour on Redeemer Television.
Good afternoon, Honest Abdullah. Yeah, and thanks for having me.
All right, and it's a pleasure having you here this blessed afternoon. Beautiful people, don't forget today is, of course, the 2nd of February 2025, and we want to officially once again welcome you to this beautiful program, Mentorship coming up to you live on Redeemer Television channel 25, and on Redeemer Media Network Facebook page, and on our YouTube channel. You can simply follow us through these social media platforms. You can ask your questions by Redeemer Television Facebook channel or Redeemer Television YouTube channel, Mentorship Hour program. You can go there and ask your questions, send your views or comments, and about what you would want to know, especially for those of you who are aspiring to enter the political limelight. So once again, good afternoon, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go straight off, and by you helping the general public to know who Dr. Umfa Sori G. Koroma is. Who is this person? Who is this personality? I mean, is he an easygoing person? Is he that kind of a person, that is always calm? Is he an introvert? Is he an extrovert person? Just tell us who is.
Well, I would like to say, I'm Honorable Dr. Umfasori Koroma.
All right.
And of course, I'm a member of Parliament representing the All People's Congress Party in Parliament, and I represent the Western Urban District. But before the Western Urban District, it was constituency 114.
All right.
But of course, I would like to believe that I'm a mix of both, introvert, extrovert, depending on the circumstances. Yes, I think I kind of blend in easily, depending on the environment. I don't like to make people uncomfortable, so if you're around me, I want you to be a comfortable person. So of course I do.
Okay.
I do flow with with the circumstances.
All right.
Yes.
And you're just confirming that if I should believe that you can be a dove and you can be a lion, depending on the situation.
I believe that. I believe so.
All right.
Yes.
So take us through first of your academic journey before entering politics, because I believe a lot of people out there who are aspiring to enter politics do believe that they must have to acquire some academic credentials and all of that before they could venture into politics, especially African politics. So take us through how has that been, or take us through that journey.
Well, I want to believe I have a rich history in terms of an academic background. I have a mixture of so many life's history.
Okay.
I had my primary education at Jala when my dad was lecturing there at Mokonde.
Wow.
So the experimental primary school I attended for 5 years. Then my dad came into politics and we came to Freetown. And I attended the Wellington School. I did not like the two-shift system, so I asked that my parents move me to a school that is one shift, and I was moved to SLMB in Wellington. So after that I went to the Bo Government Secondary School. Then after I took my O-levels, I came to the Albert Academy. Then I went to the United States, where I studied at Howard University, acquiring a bachelor's in chemistry and a doctorate in pharmacy sciences, and later on got my master's in executive management. But of course, coming to Parliament, the minimum requirement according to the Constitution is to read and write.
Okay.
You have to be able to read and write. That's the minimum requirement to be a member of Parliament. But it also helps for you to be more versed in other fields, because when you come to Parliament, you'll be dealing with a wide variety of
issues,
public issues, public
fields.
Administration issues, and going from local government to public finance, to transparency, to local government, to fisheries, to economics, to health sciences. So the more diverse you are, the more you'll be able to settle in as a member of Parliament in terms of participation and also understanding issues that emanate and crop up as you go along. So definitely a strong academic background would help you thrive in that field.
All right. Viewers, I told you earlier on when I started my submission that he is both a doctor. Of course, you've just heard him mentioning that, from when he was talking about his nomenclature and all of that. He's both a doctor and a politician as well. So let's talk about that aspect. I mean, a doctor and a politician, where does that emanate from?
I believe it's a mixture of so many foundations or background. One, like I mentioned, my late father was also a politician. He was a two-time member of Parliament in the 90s and the late 80s, and we grew up in a house where our home was open to everybody. And we grew up in a house where we see our dad helping people to change their lives, or even impacting the lives of so many other people, whether relatives or neighbors or extended family, or people from our village, or people from the villages around our village. So we saw that, and I grew up in that environment, and I thought I wanted to have an impact on society. Like I told you, I left Sierra Leone in the 90s, and when I left, I did all my university education in the US. So after graduating and started working, a feeling came in me that I had to come back to give back. A feeling came to me that I have to give back when I'm stronger. I have to come back and give back when I'm younger. And thought that it will not serve me right, or even Sierra Leone right, if I come after I retire. Let's say I come after my 60s or 65, when I'm old and gray. That's what I usually say. I did not want to come back to Sierra Leone when I'm all old and gray. I wanted to give Sierra Leone the active part of my life. So I thought through politics I'll be able to impact the lives of so many people versus just being Dr. Onfa and helping family members or friends, whoever calls for support. I believe that if I came into politics, I'll be able to touch so many lives and reach a wider audience or wider part of society than just the few people that I know or may have grown up with, or that part of my family or friends circle. So I thought politics was an avenue to actually really create that possibility.
Okay, a very key word there that you've used. He thought politics was an avenue, to create an impact on the lives and society around him as well. So he decided to choose that pathway, and we're going to talk about whether it was as a result of passion, because again, especially for the African setting, people have this notion that a lot of African politicians are entering politics as a result of the benefits, the things they would gain out of that field, and they will get themselves rich, while in politics. Or some people will even tell you that if you want to get rich very quickly in Africa, you would have to enter politics, and without politics it'll be very difficult. If you want to have the connections, if you want to be that kind of person there who the power will sort of like be also in your own hand or in your pocket, you would have to be part of national cake, which is the politics and all of that. So you entering politics, was it as a result of passion? Was it something that you grew up with? Was it something that emanated from when you were small, or it was after your education in the US that you had this feeling that what, I just think I need to be a blessing to my people?
Well, yeah, it's a mixture of all of that you just mentioned about passion, about you were born in it, about after education you believe that you have to give back. But the other part about coming to politics because you want to be rich, coming to politics because you want to have an influence, I think anybody that goes into politics for those reasons will be going to politics for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
And I believe it's something that you must believe in. 2, you must want to change people's lives.
Okay.
3, you must have that thing about you wherein you are more tolerant to issues that may come before you, whether it has to be personal issues, whether it has to be community issues, whether it has to be with societal issues. You should be that person that is willing to face those issues head on. And I think definitely I believe that a bigger part of me wanted to be part of this bigger problem solving issue that has to do with my country. And when I will talk to people that I knew that before now, I would tell them we need to change Sierra Leone. We need to make Sierra Leone better than the way Sierra Leone was or is.
Okay.
And I believe that if if you cannot contribute to making that change, then it makes it difficult for you to complain about the problems that are present or existing. If you cannot take part of your life and time to make that change, why do you continue to complain that people are not doing the right things? Because if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. And I believe that the way to make that change possible is to be part of the problem solving and become part of the solution.
You know, the way to make that change happen in the country in particular is to be a part of that drive, you know, that set of persons, that set of people that have decided to be a solution to the problem that is presently in existence, or that has been existing, or that have been existing, whichever way you may look at it. All right, viewers, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Mentorship Hour on Redeemer Television, channel 25, and it's coming out so up to you on the Redeemer Media Network Facebook page, Redeemer Television Facebook page, and on Redeemer Television YouTube channel. You can go to the social media platforms and send your views, your comments, ask your questions. And today we're having, he's our star mentor with here today. He's taking us through the pathway of being a successful politician with an impact on lives and the society. We're going to talk about, you know, what it takes to become, you know, a politician to this point of winning a seat, because again, he's an honorable member, have you know, and for him to go there in parliament to represent his people, he didn't just go there by himself. He was voted for, and he entered into that, you know, enviable house where I believe millions of Sierra Leoneans are yearning to enter, and he is there, being there as a political representative for his people, as he said, to be a part of solving the problem of this country. So take us through what it takes for someone that is aspiring now to enter politics. What's the pathway for you to get to that point of successfully becoming the politician that you imagine yourself to be? And not just that, even having the opportunity to enter, you know, the enviable house of this country, one of the enviable house, which is the Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone. What is that pathway that somebody should use, especially for those people who are aspiring now to, you know, enter into this career?
Well, I'll say it takes the grace of God.
Okay.
It takes the grace of God, because no matter what, if it's not His grace, it will be impossible. It takes His grace because God gives you the direction.
All right.
It takes the grace of God because He gives you the courage, and it takes the grace of God because it puts you in the right place at the right time. Of course, if you want to take that journey, it is important that, one, as we stated earlier, you have a passion for what you're doing.
All right.
Because they say if you love what you do, you will not have to, if you love what you do, then you will not have to work a day in your life. Meaning you'll be doing what you love doing. Secondly, it takes the efforts from you, concerted efforts from you, to ensure that you understand the problems and the challenges that you intend to solve.
All right.
The problem, the challenges, in whether it's a whole problem of the nation or the problem in your community, you have to know the problems of those communities. In public health, that you're told that the first thing into a community project, in doing a community project, is that you have to go into the community. Then secondly, you have to immerse yourself in that community. So when you immerse yourself in the community, then you know the community problems. Then you take the next step in helping the community solve those problems. You take the step to help the community solve those problems.
All right.
When you take the step in ensuring that the community solve those problems, you will be identified in that community as a responsible member of that community. So once you become a responsible member of that community, you'll be called a stakeholder in that community. Once you become a stakeholder in that community, then you will identify which path you want to take in serving that community. So whether you want to become a headman of that community, whether you want to become a chief of that community, whether you want to become a council of that community, or a chairperson of that community, or even a representative of that community, you have to immerse yourself in that community, understand the challenges in that community, be part of the problems in solving those in that community. Then you'll be identified as a stakeholder in that community. Once you're identified as a stakeholder in that community, then you can identify the role that you want to play, or the formal role that you want to play in representing or serving that community, because pretty much you're a servant of that community.
Okay.
Yes. So you definitely have to know that you're a servant of that community, and that you're ready to serve that community, rain, shine, or snow. Yes, no.
Okay, very key, adjectives used here, as to what it takes to be that kind of politician that you're imagining yourself to become. One, he mentioned about the passion for what you want to enter into. If you say you want to be a politician, then you have to have the passion for that. You cannot choose a pathway, or you cannot decide to go into something that you are not passionate about. That is one. He also mentioned about understanding. You trying as hard as possible to understand the problem that you are venturing into to take, to be a solution to. And you should also have passion for problem solving. And above all, you should regard yourself as a servant, because you're a servant of the people. There is this notion that people always have, that's especially for African politicians, they don't regard themselves as servant leaders. Rather, they regard themselves as, leaders that will just be in control to, get what they want, or control the people the way they want, and all of that. When, in reality, it should be the servant kind of leadership and all of that. And the aspect of the love as well, because normally they say love conquers all. So what would you say, to that path, the aspect of politicians seeing, him or herself as a servant leader, like you initially mentioned, and you being that person that has the love for the people, because without the love it will be difficult. As they say, love conquers all. Yes. So what would you want to say on that part? Do the person also has to have these qualities, or is something you just develop along the way?
Well, I will not say you have to have those qualities, but it will help if you have those qualities. It makes it easier if you understand that is your role. It makes a lot of things possible. First of all, like you stated or asked, you cannot see yourself as too important for the position. You cannot see yourself as too important for the role. And you cannot see a situation impossible for you. You have to understand that there are so many possibilities. That is one. Two, if you see yourself as a servant, then it means you'll be ready to serve the people. Because by you representing them, pretty much you're taking, let's say for example in parliament, by you representing them, it means you're taking their message and taking it to parliament, or taking their message or bringing it to the limelight,
their concerns,
taking their concerns and bringing it to solve national issues. So you being a servant does not make you any less. Serving means you're a servant. When you're serving, you're a servant. It doesn't mean it doesn't make you any less. That is just your role. Because even when we serve mankind, we are serving God.
Okay.
You understand?
Very key.
When you're serving mankind, you're serving God. Because all the good things you do, God wants you to do. So by you serving mankind, you're serving God.
So in sense, you're saying, you are in that position, you are in that capacity, not because you just feel like I should be there all by myself, but you're there because God wants you to be there.
Absolutely.
And because He wants you to be the representative of the people.
Absolutely.
He wants you to be His own representative.
Absolutely.
There. So in sense, you are not just serving man as you may be considering it, but serving God.
And it's important, a very important ingredient of you serving man and God is the fear of God.
Okay.
It's the fear of God.
Wow.
Yes, because I'll give you the reasons why.
Yes.
When we go to parliament, we make a lot of decisions on behalf of the people.
All right.
There's a common Chinese proverb that says, a society grows great when old men plant trees under whose shades they know they will never sit. So when we go in parliament and we make laws, you should know that you're not making that law for yourself.
Okay.
You're making the law for people. You're making the law for generations unborn. And when you do that and you separate yourself from that reality, it gives you that wisdom to do the right thing. So when you are serving, and you're serving without prejudice, you're serving without the self-centeredness, without being selfish, then you're serving people with the utmost responsibility, being fair for God.
All right.
And ensuring that whatever you do, you will be judged for your actions.
At the end of the day,
whatever you do, you'll be judged for your actions.
People have this notion. I mean, majority of members of the public out there have this notion that the moment you enter into politics, forget about being honest, forget about being sincere, and forget about being that righteous person that you would want to consider yourself to be. So how would you manage that as a political figure? Sincerity, honesty, and accountability, knowing that there is one who is also watching over you at the end of the day, that you would have to give account to for all what you may have done at the time you were serving in that position. How would you manage that if you really want to be a successful politician with an impact on lives and communities?
First of all, you cannot lose yourself. Like you stated, you asked, how do you become another person?
Yeah.
How do you change into that person that is there for themselves? Or how do you be that person that is not honest? How do you become that person that loses their integrity? So losing all of that, pretty much you're saying you're losing your soul.
All right.
You lose your soul. So they say when you gain the world and you lose your soul, it means you've lost everything. So just remember that you did not come into politics to lose yourself.
Okay.
Now that's what I say. If you come to politics with a decision or the belief that this is where you come to enrich yourself, then you're coming into politics for the wrong reasons. So if you come to politics to serve, and you believe that whatever you do will be judged, or that whatever you do or actions that you take, even if you do not suffer it, generations of you may suffer it, then you'll be careful when you're in that field, because you're making decisions for millions of people, and you've been bestowed a blessing by God, given by the people through the ballot box to put you in that position. So whenever you do or make decisions contrary to what their wishes are, and you do it with no recourse to them, then you will be judged, or you will see the repercussions of your actions.
Okay.
Maybe not now, but down the road.
So let's now talk about how will a politician or political figure or somebody aspiring to enter into politics, how would that person be able to maintain or manage honesty, sincerity, and accountability at the end of the day, and your integrity?
The good thing,
most important.
The good thing is,
how do you maintain that?
Yes, good thing, you should be a person of good character.
Okay.
You should be a person that have integrity. Because if you never had integrity and you came into politics, that is not when you gain that integrity.
Okay.
If you never had good character before coming into politics, you will not get good character when you come into politics.
Are into politics.
Yeah, so that's why it's important that even the people that select you and even the people that elect you should be better and good judges of character.
All right.
They should ensure that it puts people with good characters in those respective positions.
That is very key that you're saying, because in African politics today, particularly in Sierra Leone, where we are, people just choose, you know, by color, or people choose by their, you know, countrymen. That is, you know, this person belongs to this tribe and this person belongs to this, comes from this part of the country, and so we have to choose this person to represent us. You know, people are less concerned about the area of character. People are less concerned about the area of the personality that this person really is.
Exactly.
Yes. So
exactly. So that is why careful vetting has to take place before you put those people in those positions.
All right.
If you know that they were not of that caliber before, do not expect them to change once they go in. They'll probably even become worse.
Okay.
So the essential ingredient is that you have to be a person of good character, good moral values, have integrity, honest.
All right.
I mean, I'm not talking about honest Abdullah. But yeah, you know, you have to, and that's where it starts. Because if you have that good moral compass, then when you go in there, you have that guiding. You have that thing that will guide you through. So because definitely when you're there, temptations will come. People with other plans will come.
Okay.
But you have to be that person that will say, no, I cannot follow this path. No, I cannot make that decision. No, this is not what I should be doing. No, I did not come into this for this.
Okay.
So you should have had that before you went into. You should have had that before going into. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you.
It will be difficult for you to definitely control or maintain that aspect of integrity, sincerity, and honesty in your political career. So, you know, he has just mentioned about some of the ingredients that should be a part of you if you should be that political figure with an impact on lives and communities. If you're just joining us, you are watching us live on Redeemer Television channel 25 and on Redeemer Media Network Facebook page and on Redeemer YouTube channel. You can go there, drop your comments, ask your questions, and as a way of being a part of the program this afternoon. We want to, however, go for a break, and when we come back, we'll continue to talk more about what it really takes, you know, for you out there that is so much eager to enter into politics, that is so much aspiring to rule this nation, or to be a part of the team, or a part of that set of people that have decided to take the people away from that impoverished state, that state of poverty, that state of lack, to bring them into the path of light at the end of the day. So we wanted to go for a break now. Once our technicians are ready, and we'll quickly come back after this break. Don't forget, it's still Mentorship Hour on Redeemer Television Channel 25, on Redeemer Media Network Facebook page as well. You can catch us live on that channel, and also on the YouTube channel as well.
How many of you are ready for the victory song? God has given me the victory, and therefore I need not fear about anything. For the Lord my God is a solid rock. He has given me the victory. Let's go. He's given me victory over the storms of life. He's given me victory. They will not prevail. For the Lord our God, solid rock, He's given me victory. He's given me victory over the storms of life. He's given me victory. They will not prevail. For the Lord our God, solid rock, He's given me victory. Yes.
He's given me victory
Over the storms of life.
Over the storms of life. He's given me victory.
They will not prevail.
They will not prevail. For the Lord our God,
Solid rock.
solid rock, He's given me victory.
Say He's given me victory
He's given me victory
over the storms of
over
life.
the storms of life. He's given me victory.
They will not
They
prevail.
will not prevail.
For the Lord our God,
Lord our God,
He's a solid rock.
rock, He's given me victory.
Come on, Francis, take it up.
He's given me victory. Over the storms of life, He's given me victory. They will not prevail. For the Lord our God, solid rock, He's given me victory. Oh, He's given me victory. Over the storms of life, He's given me victory. They will not prevail. For the Lord our God, solid rock, He's given me victory. He's given me victory over the storms of life. He's given me victory. They will not prevail. For the Lord our God.
Welcome back, viewers, from that short break that we had there just now. And if you're just joining us, don't forget you are watching us live on Redeemer Television Channel 25, and on Redeemer Media Network Facebook page, and also on our YouTube channel. We're having still in the studio here with us this afternoon on our mentorship program, our star mentor for today, Honorable Dr. Umfa Soriji Koma, and he is a honorable member of the only opposition political party in the House of Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone right now, the APC, and he has been taking us through the journey of what it takes to become, a successful politician with an impact on lives and society. You know, when they talk about you being successful as a politician, we have actually laid that down this afternoon, that it does not only depend or goes with you having cars, you having fleet of houses, but the lives that you touch, you know, the memories that you create in the minds of people, so that at the end of the day, when even you would decide to leave the corridors of politics, those things that we speak on your behalf, that is what success means in the realm of politics. So we're still having him in the studio with us. Honorable, you're still welcome again.
Thank you.
You know, for the second half of the program.
Thank you.
So initially, when you started, you know, giving the bio about yourself, you mentioned about you being a doctor, which we have been, of course, calling you by, and we would want to know, you know, a political doctor, a medical doctor, or a political doctor.
Well, it's of course, it's pretty much tough to manage both fields, because you have to make yourself available to the people that you serve.
Okay, so first off,
yes.
I believe you know, viewers would want to know whether a doctor is a medical doctor or a political doctor, as in politics now.
No, I'm a doctor, like I said, like I indicated. I got my doctorate in pharmacy.
Wow.
And it's a clinical degree, and it's a degree that believes that the issues about medicines, and I mean drugs, will be better understood by the doctorates in pharmacy.
Wow.
So meaning in all clinical settings, when you have a medical doctor, in all clinical rounds, to ensure that you give the fullest to the patient, you should have a pharmacy doctor next to the medical doctor. So in terms of drugs, the way drugs work, their actions, the mechanics of actions, when you talk about pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics, the pharmacists know it better than the medical doctor.
So you know, so you see something interesting here, my beautiful viewers. Now we've had this notion before, or this belief, we've synced it already in us, that if you should become a politician, you must be if you are going to school, you should be an arts, you know, student or an arts pupil. You have to be in the arts faculty or in arts streams, not science, not commerce. We consider science to just be for the medical doctors, as he would say, and all of that. And we consider the business faculty to be for business people or these bankers and all of that. But here he is, a politician, in fact, an enviable one at that. And he is, you know, also a medical doctor at the same time. So come to think of it, how do you manage that, your political career and that of, you know, your medical career? How have you been managing?
Well, I made a decisive decision, and when I came into politics, that I will not be able to give 100% to my career as a doctor in pharmacy. And definitely it has proven that I've not been able to give that 100%. But of course I've been able to give some of it, I mean, on a part-time basis. I mean, like I had a pharmacy in Waterloo that I ran, and whenever I had recess, I'll go to the United States and work in part-time, and even just in the community services, doing health checks in communities in terms of blood pressure, diabetes, doing diabetic education. So, but I've managed that for the past 6 years. But I know that doing politics and serving the people, you have to make yourself available for them, and you have to be there, you know. And after I came to my second term, I became the parliamentary spokesperson So that, of course, added to the responsibilities that I've already had as a member of parliament representing my communities.
Okay.
So, it's pretty much a give and take.
Okay.
Trying to find a fine balance between all of it.
Okay. We want to ask, it may be interesting, the question that we're about to ask, I'm about to ask, that has to do with your family life and all of that. Like, is Dr. Umfa, this political icon here this afternoon, is he a person that is married already, or it's kids and all of that?
Absolutely. I'm married and I have kids. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about how do you manage also, because this is also another thing, political figures, when it comes to the management of their home and that of the politics. I don't know, sometimes when you are in the political attire, you act like a politician and all of that, and when you go home, of course, you have to act like a dad or something.
You have to act, all of that. You have to act like somebody that is under your wife's control.
Yes. So how do you
your wife is the boss, you should know that.
Okay.
So it's pretty much having a strong partner, having a strong partner, because you cannot do this in service without a strong family. Yeah, and you cannot do this service without a strong backbone.
I had even wanted to also ask, if you should really succeed as that kind of politician or political figure that you are imagining yourself to become, does it also depend on the kind of wife you would marry?
Absolutely.
Or the person you're going for as a relationship?
Definitely. You have to have somebody that is supportive. Supportive of your dreams and aspirations, supportive of your sacrifices you're ready to make, because coming into public life, you sacrifice time and money, and you even sacrifice your career, as in my case. So you have to have that partner that is willing to believe in your dreams, because it's your dreams first, before it becomes their dream. So you have to have that supportive partner, otherwise it will be next to impossible. Yes. So
in sense, assuming you want to enter into politics and you have gotten a wife already that is really not kind of much interested in politics because of maybe the notion that she may have heard
before
about the political,
it means to be a politician,
all of these things, that you would have to be a corrupt person, or you will not be honest or sincere anymore,
or you will not have enough time for them.
Exactly. And that will be translated, or that will affect the home, and all of that. Yes. So what would you do, as that person that is that political figure, to ensure that the family believe, or the wife believes in what you are into?
Yes. Well,
to give you that support.
First of all, you have to, if she's not sold in 100%, you have to pitch the idea to them.
Okay.
You have to pitch the idea to her. You have to do what you can to ensure that she buys the idea. Because if she doesn't buy the idea, then there'll be a lot of problems. Problems with the home, problems in making those sacrifices, problem with the support. So she has to buy it, and if you're the one trying to convince her, you have to be patient. Don't try to push it down her throat, as if I want it, you should want it.
Okay.
Make her see what is in it for her, because anything in life is about give and take, and anything even the marriage is a partnership, and you have to believe that everybody have equal stake in whatever comes in or out of the family,
especially when it comes to decision making.
Yes indeed.
Okay, let's talk about this aspect of how should one that really want to have an impact on lives and communities or the society as a politician, how do you handle the issue of corruption? Because this has been a much talked about issue amongst the public, especially when you talk about politicians. Immediately you mention a political figure, they say, you know,
they don't thief money.
they don't thief money.
They don't spoil this country.
They spoil this country, exactly.
Yes.
You know, and they corrupt people and all of that. When if Salon don't spoil, a politician they're responsible for that. You know,
and I'm glad you really brought that up.
Yes.
And
So how do you handle that?
Because I will answer the question next.
Yeah. Okay.
But I want to comment a little bit on the impression.
Yes.
The impression that
People
all
don't
politicians
always-
are corrupt.
Yeah.
The impression that our country is in this position because
of the politicians. Yeah.
And to me, I believe our country is in this position partly because of corrupt people, which could be politicians or not even politicians, civil servants, business people, business community people, or even ordinary citizens that are not politicians, that are not civil servants, they are not business people, but they also have corrupt practices in communities. Because we suffer from a lot of corrupt issues in our country, whether it has to do with the national cake, which is the resources of the country, whether it has to be with national property, meaning infrastructural property of government, whether it has to do with resources, because you have Sierra Leoneans going into communities mining without mining licenses.
Exactly.
You have Sierra Leoneans selling in markets, mixing palm oil with something else. You have Sierra Leoneans in the community dumping waste in gutters that affect other Sierra Leoneans. You have Sierra Leoneans breaking the law every day. You have Sierra Leoneans that are not seeking the interests of the country, that are not politicians, that are not civil servants. They are not at any given office, but they are not seeking the interests of the country.
They're just ordinary citizens.
They're citizens, but they have the impression of pointing the finger and not thinking that I have a responsibility. And that it's important that as a people and as a country and as people of this country, we should understand that with rights comes responsibilities. So as much as I have a right as a Sierra Leonean, and I believe that I have the right to what this country has to offer, I also should understand that I have a responsibility to Sierra Leone, and I have a responsibility to what becomes of Sierra Leone. So if you go into a community and grab a land and sells it, or if you go into a community and brush off all the mangrove where the fish have to lay their eggs, in the name that I want to sell this land, or in the name that I want to build this, you're part of the problem in Sierra Leone. So let's come to your question when it comes to corruption.
Yes,
and being a corrupt yes.
And
so
you know,
like I said,
largely named among politicians.
Yeah, so like I said, one, it starts with character, but secondly, it also begins with you not losing yourself in the process. And three, if you go into it for the wrong reasons to enrich yourself, you will be corrupt. If you think you go in there to enrich yourself, you will be corrupt.
But it's really clear that there are much opportunities there. There are so many temptations there.
Well, there are opportunities
tempt you.
There are opportunities there that do not even involve temptation, that do not involve corruption. Those opportunities are there, like even the immunity that you enjoy, like Section 97. Subsection 1 talks about the immunity, that all members of Parliament shall maintain the dignity and image of Parliament, both during the sittings in Parliament as well as in their acts and activities outside Parliament. And it talks about all members of Parliament shall regard themselves as representatives of the people of Sierra Leone and desist from any conduct by which they seek improperly to enrich themselves or alienate themselves from the people. So it tells you that the responsibility of member of Parliament should include the following. That's under Section 97. So your conduct and character is in the Constitution. It is there that you should maintain high standards, dignity. But if you're there to enrich yourself, you will be corrupt. If you're there to utilize power beyond what you should use, you will be corrupt. It means you go into one community and say, this land and me get and becoming an honorable and me forget her.
Exactly. Or because me a minister.
Yes, na me forget this land.
Official.
Me a government official. They come and they come in the name of government sometimes, but they are coming for themselves.
You
even have people in public responsibilities in the uniform of government, but working for themselves. They're not working for the state.
Right.
And that is the problem with any person in public office. If you come there for yourself and you don't come there for the role and responsibility, then you're bound to be corrupted.
So do we say, you know, many of these issues over the years, or for decades now, have actually this face, or are really responsible for politicians to be given this mask, or to be masked by this identity of being persons that are corrupt? Should we say, you know, these, you know, emerge as a result of the actions of some of these officials?
Yes, I believe that. I mean, my late father was in public service for 10 years.
Okay.
Then in 1992, when the coup happened and MPRC took over, my dad left public service without any blemish in his record. He was never arrested for corruption. He never had his properties confiscated because of corruption, and his name was never called in a
like an inquiry,
inquiry. And it all points to how he managed his life when he was in public service. Yes, it all points to that. But equally so, you had people that were in politics side by side with him were called into those practices. You know what I mean? So it's really all about how you manage your service in public. Then at the same time, you had people who were civil servants, permanent secretaries and the like, who were also under commission of inquiry. So the corruption, like I state, does not start and end with the politician.
Okay.
It ends with the person.
Okay, so
And it could be any position. You can even be a storekeeper.
and you're still corrupt.
Yes, you can be even storekeeper, and you can sell all the things that you're supposed to keep on behalf of the institution that you work for, and you'll be corrupt.
So which means corruption is basically, as he's saying now, not only limited to you being a politician for you to be corrupt, or corruption is not only attracted by politics, you know, or the political activities.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it has to do with the individual.
The individual and his personality,
yourself,
and his beliefs and his tendencies.
And some people want to say that many people today that are corrupt, especially in political offices, generated this life of corruption, you know, during their kindergarten stage. That is, you know, again, maybe the way they were brought up, or so maybe they will go and steal a coin from their mother's purse or from their daddy's, you know, pocket, and they will just say, he's a child, or she's a child, just leave him or her, you know, to do that. Or they will go in there and look at the food, and they'll open that food, and you know, we used to call it finger soup, you know, that kind of thing. They will finger soup, and they will say, no, don't beat that one, he's a child, and all of that. And the theft started right from there. So many people are always saying, majority of these corrupt figures today in our country started their root of being corrupt in their homes. Would you have something to say about that?
Well, I believe that is also true, but I don't think it stops at that. I don't think it's just because you use for finger soup, so because you use for finger soup you will become thief man. I don't think it's also because you used to go into your mom's bag and take money, or your dad's pocket to take money, you come out and steal. I think the biggest problem with corruption issues in this country is the perception by society. Before they started setting up the anti-corruption commission, before anti-corruption started biting people that engage in criminal activities, people had the impression that if you are given a position and you do not become better off than you were, you are a failure.
Okay.
Look at them get a job. Look what he can with.
Crazy.
You understand?
At the end of the day,
Look at in manager and look back.
a big minister, a big honorable.
Yeah, look at him, minister. Look he not be lost for himself. But if the person's salary is not sufficient to build a house, why do you expect them to build a house?
Okay.
So societal pressure sometimes drive people into those acts, and also societal perceptions also drive people to those acts. But when society starts thinking that engaging in dubious activities is wrong, and when society starts ensuring that people who commit those crimes are penalized and they're exposed, then the perception starts changing.
Which means society should also not force the people to become corrupt.
Absolutely. And society should not force people to become corrupt. Society should not force people to give what they don't have. Like you say, oh, but the man is honorable. How come I ask him for 1 million, no give me? The man is honorable. How come we get problem? I want 10 million. This man no give me. When probably the person's salary for the whole month is only twice that amount. So how do you expect to give that? So how do you expect them to sustain their livelihood? So sometimes societal pressure also puts pressures on individuals to become corrupt, but also societal pressures in terms of the perception that you should go there and enrich yourself. You should go there and enrich yourself, and they don't look at what services you rendered, because you should be remembered for the services you rendered. You should be remembered for the laws you championed. You should be remembered for the projects that you brought to the community, not the projects you built in the community, but the projects that you brought into the community. You should be remembered for that, not for the ones that will put you into that situation where you have to go take money somewhere else to come please or satisfy the ego, to satisfy your ego or somebody's perception of what you should be.
Which will definitely make you a corrupt politician at the end of the day. So you would have to be cautious, or you know, take precautions of what you do, of what you allow yourself to go into as a result of societal perception. So we're about to wrap up. So quickly, before you leave us this evening, you just take us quickly through what are the steps that one should take to become that politician with an impact on lives and communities? You know, just a summary.
Yeah, like I said, when I was reading section 97, subsection 2, when it talks about 1, you do not alienate yourself from your people. So meaning the people that you seek to serve should know that you're serving them. The people that you seek to serve should see the impact of your work on their lives. And also the organization, which is the party that you serve, should also see that you are a very important part of that structure, that you play a role in participating to the fullest when it comes to the party's activities. So it is important that you make yourself relevant, be of use and be of service.
And you must have love for the people. You must have passion for what you do. You must be ready to be accountable. You must be ready to be sincere. You must be ready to be honest. If only you should be a politician or that political figure that would have an impact on lives and communities, or the society.
Yes, you should be ready to serve. You should be ready to give. You should be ready to be accountable.
All right, thank you so very much. You know, that's a very big you know, take home there today. You should be ready to be accountable, be honest, be sincere, be transparent. You know, see yourself as a servant leader. That's what he mentioned entirely.
To be of service.
You know, and you have to be of service to the people if you must be that person or that political figure with an impact on lives and communities. Well, beautiful viewers, this is all what we have for in today's edition of mentorship program that's come up to you and live on Redeemer Television channel 25 and on Redeemer Media Network Facebook page, and also on our YouTube channel. I believe your comments are there, and of what you should consider to become that successful politician with an impact on lives and communities. We have had today Honorable Dr. Onfa Sori G. Koroma, member of the leading opposition party in Sierra Leone, the APC, and he is also a honorable member of that party in the 6th Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and he is the communications and public relations person or director for the APC opposition members of parliament in the House of Parliament. And he has been here today with us, and he has taken us through the narrow the road path or the pathway of becoming a successful politician with an impact on lives and communities. Thank you very much once more, Dr. Onfa, for being here with me today in mentorship. So this hour, definitely we're going to leave you, and would encourage you to continue to follow us on our social media handles or Facebook. Many thanks to Musa Samura, who has been the cameraman behind the whole show, and the VTR operator as well. Many thanks to Ansu Mana, also has been there as technical support there, and to Solomon Fofana as well, and to you that has taken your precious time to be with us this evening in this mentorship edition. Many thanks to the producer Daniel Sawyer Misali, the executive producer, and I've been your presenter and producer of the program as well, Honest Abdullah. Till next we meet again for another edition of our mentorship program, I say continue to stay tuned to Redeemer Television channel 25, and for the very best in